Brady knew I was getting to get my phone to record again because we're connected within the same universe. She telepathically communicated with me before the stupid Elon Musk chip.
Right? Crazy.
Now we're starting to sound like the Joe Rogan podcast. That's the most popular podcast right now. Anyway.
And then, so
Ego.
not only was there Adam and Eve, but there was also Lilith and the man made from dust.
Okay. I've never heard this.
Oh, it's right in the Bible. I know. My friend Tiffany pointed it out to me.
Oh, crazy!
Because I was like, what? But
Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
So it talks about Adam and Eve who were made in the...
I'm not religious or Christian.
God's image, right?
Right.
But then it also talks about two other people who were made from the dust of the earth.
Maybe that's the reference of Lilith Fair. The female concert series was called Lilith Fair, and it was only women artists.
Oh.
It was started by Sarah McLachlan.
What it was. I think that's what it was. It was a woman who was made from the dust of the earth.
Instead of Adam's rib.
Yeah, that's what she said. Okay.
Right.
So there was a man and a woman made from the dust of the earth, right?
Right.
And then there was the woman that was made from the man's rib.
Okay.
Right? So who governed those people? Nobody. They governed themselves, right?
Of course. The universe is existing as itself.
So,
what the fuck does that mean?
As time goes on and there's more population of the earth, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. Their dad, told them what to do and, guided them, whatever, but, where did this king and queen and ruler thing come about? You know what I mean?
Just human ego evolution.
When
cavemen evolution, right?
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Is it just the more consciousnesses you get, the more evolved you get, right? Yeah, because as the population grows, the more consciousness, communication and evolution happens, right? But it just, I don't know. I just always thought about that. Why do we have governments? Why do we have hierarchies? Why do we have, where did that start?
Right, that's the human evolution we're in right now. It's we were cavemen who were hunting and gathering.
Because if we really did come from Adam and Eve, and they were the first people on Earth.
We didn't, though. Come on. That's the story of a white cis male. Straight. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter what that is. That's part of our collective consciousness explaining itself to itself. Do you know what I mean?
So you think Moses just made that up?
Moses? Who the fuck?
When he wrote down,
who made it up?
When he wrote down, what?
The First Testament?
Yeah.
Sure. It doesn't matter if he made it up or not, though. Maybe he didn't make it up.
Because it was supposed to be God talking to him.
Right, and maybe he didn't make it up. For argument's sake, let's say the Christians are right. It doesn't matter. We're in a circle existence of a universe, motherfucker. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Let's make it the Christian podcast. We agree with you. You are right, Christians. But that's our ego. It doesn't matter.
I guess you're right, because then I'm basing this whole
thing on
questioning.
That means you should be going to church right now.
And the fact that we all come from Adam and Eve. Are you going to go to church
on Sunday?
And you know what's so funny is
exactly. You're not going to go to church on Sunday.
Remember genealogy and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So,
remember genealogy?
No.
Remember the concept of air?
No, shut up. I mean, I'm a little high right now. But remember how in church everybody does genealogy and
yes.
Aunt Linda's doing something on genealogy
and
right now.
They pack their basements full of food, right?
But I remember,
it's the same.
I think it was the Lash, Sister Lash.
Okay. She's hilarious. I love her.
She supposedly traced their genealogy all the way back to Adam and Eve.
Okay. Of course she did. What about it? What's your point?
How?
Brady, because if you can make up Adam and Eve, you can make up a bunch of other bullshit too. You're like an idiot.
Oh my god. Duh.
Sorry to debunk Christianity, motherfucker, but next episode's Judaism and Islam. Like, what the fuck, Brady? It doesn't matter. But it is good that you're coming back to the context of which we live. That's an interesting idea of our circle existence.
Yeah, because now that I think about it, it's like Adam and Eve weren't cavemen.
But it does right. But like, Brady, duh,
did
that's
they
the
live
eternal.
Like that? Like,
Brady, duh. Haven't you ever heard of the Scopes monkey trials?
No.
That's what the trial of the century, the Scopes, Charles Barrow, whatever his name, the Spokes monkey trials were about.
Charles Darwin.
No.
Darrow?
No, he's the lawyer who did the monkey trials in the 1920s.
The monkey trials.
Yeah, haven't you heard of the monkey trials? It's the eternal question of did we come from monkeys or Adam and Eve?
Oh.
They were called the monkey trials, and they basically it set the stage for the separation of church and state in the Constitution. That won because that's why you don't learn about the Bible in school. That's part of the evolution of America, is we separated church and state. That's why people came here from religious prosecution. That's why what you were saying, the U.S. is an experiment of Europe. The experiment of, can we separate church and state from our lives? Because the kings and queens were the church and the state. What you were saying before, the idea of kings and queens.
Is that why they stopped doing the Pledge of Allegiance in school too?
I thought you were about to say, is that why they stopped doing the queens? No.
They
stopped the Pledge of Allegiance in school? When?
You didn't hear about that whole thing to like stop saying the Pledge of Allegiance? Because
but have they done it though? Have they done it?
I don't know. I don't think they do it anymore.
Well, it depends on the school, I'm sure, and the community, I bet.
Because now, because they're like, if we have to separate out the church, we need to separate out the state too.
Right, and the Pledge of Allegiance of God, right.
Yeah.
It's almost like they didn't really separate it when they came here. Right, it's bullshit. They did in a way, though. They did evolve the separation of church and state in a way, but
because I don't think they'd say the Pledge of Allegiance anymore. I'm going to have to ask Jadiana.
But the point is what they did at one point. The point is that we're in an evolution, right?
Uh-huh.
Whether that idea of evolution matters or not within the existence of the circle universal existence spectrum, communication spectrum, evolution, whether it's evolution or not, doesn't matter. Right. We're in a continuous circle. It doesn't matter if we're evolving or not. We're just going to do something instead of existing eternal blackness. It's all the same questions that basically circle around in a communication to each other. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's all the same shit. We're in the same universe, same context. Doesn't matter if it's Abraham Hicks or Esther. What if the universe is
like a beehive? Just a bunch of little circles.
That's great. It could be. Doesn't matter. The circles are connected.
Yeah.
In the same context. So they are different little...
But they're all different compartments.
Right. They're different compartment holes. But that's maybe to set us back in evolution, to just give us an idea of the way humans can exist. Or beings, aliens, whatever you want to call it. We're just in the human context right now existing on a podcast. Doesn't matter what it is in terms of the different existences throughout the universe, planets, gravity, primordial ooze, Scopes monkey trials, Adam and Eve, cavemen. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We're somewhere in the circle spectrum thinking about shit, whether it is real or not. That makes me actually, for me, what validates everything I think and have ever said in my life, or especially now, like later in the past few years of me philosophically asking bigger questions, for me, what validates all that is the fact that we can think of fantasies in our head and even manifest them in like a movie form, or any kind of fictional form, or the idea of that we can eat. Why do we have fantasies but these things aren't real? Yeah. For me, that's the universe telling itself, well, I'm teasing you, I'm giving you a blue ball.
Universal blue ball. Yeah, that's gotta be the worst.
Yeah, universal blue ball. Basically, the idea of that idea is basically universal blueballing. Is let's give myself the idea of a fantasy that I can't really manifest in the reality of which I exist. I can manifest it within another reality of which we
but
exist.
That's the thing about that's the thing
another
though.
Dimension, right?
Anything you can think, you can manifest. Period.
Right.
Period.
Right. You just gotta go through the source.
No.
Go through the positive sources.
It depends on how much you focus on it.
Right. It's all about how you use the source. Right? That's what Abraham basically is saying, right? It's how you use your source. The sources of the sources of the sources.
It's not how you use your source. It's how in tune you are with your source. Right.
Because it's just existing. It doesn't matter.
Are you going with the flow of your source, or are you resisting going against the flow?
In terms of the context of our existence as humans. Right.
In terms of where you are on your path and where you're going.
But that's a good question, right? In context of being a human, or even bigger than that, or both? Probably both, because it's all connected as one thing in one universe.
Yeah.
So.
But even though we are connected as one thing in one universe, we're still on our own separate path.
Right, the compartmentalized of the beehive. It's compartmentalized, but it's still one thing.
Yeah, like you're...
Just like the universe question.
Right.
One universe or multiple universes.
Me and you have source in us. We're connected that way, right? But your path is not the same as my path.
Of course. Why would it be? Why would the universe wants to experience everything it possibly can? It has the time to. It doesn't want to just exist in eternal blackness. So so every single path of source is going to be different because it wants to experience all the infinite ways to exist. And that's why you have all the different examples of existence of the universe. Stars, planets, primordial ooze, humans, monkeys. Did we come from Adam and Eve or monkeys? Doesn't fucking matter. Let's just be ironic and say it was Adam and Eve. Because we know that's bullshit. Doesn't matter if it's bullshit or not. It actually could be true.
That's so crazy because...
But Brady, in a way, Adam and Eve is true because some people exist within that existence of believing Adam and Eve, so it might as well be true. Because to them it is.
Oh,
for Martha Lash...
Instead of...
Hi, Martha Lash. You were an amazing Mormon companion to have within the universe. I wasn't married to her.
Sorry, I'm compartmentalizing.
Yeah, that's Jim Lash was married to Martha Lash. I don't know. Are they?
Yeah.
I don't communicate with them. I'm not on that evolution. So that sucks. But how did you know they were still together?
Facebook.
Who fucking cares? Oh my god. Facebook, part of the enemy. The enemy told us something. That's funny. Well, duh, the enemy tells us everything, but anyway. It doesn't matter if it's an enemy or not. We have to, within the context, I think you just got to be a hippie for mom and pop. Within this context, don't you think it's better? Right? For this existence to exist in for mom and pop,
I think you
not
should edit out names
of Brady. It's not a lie that Jim and Martha Lash are married, so they can't sue us for defamation. We only said they were married. I actually said they were positive examples of other Mormons for me.
Yeah.
The negative ones were like, I don't know, maybe we shouldn't say their names because
right.
Their egos will try to over-dominate
Yeah.
In terms of our existence as humans right now, so.
I guess that's why, you know, that's like one of the basis of the why I thought Adam and Eve existed, because I'm pretty sure it was her that said that they traced their genealogy back
to Adam
and Eve.
Of course they do. Why wouldn't they? They were the most gung-ho Mormons. Hormons? Oh my god, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Oh my god.
But what's ironic is that they weren't the Hormons. They were good Mormons. The Hormons were the people we don't want to name.
Right.
To give them power that they don't deserve. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh, that's so funny.
The Hormons. Oh my god. One time I was biking and I biked past who was Bjorn's dad? Bjorn's dad?
Oh my god,
that's the
We're
context.
not naming.
No, I'm not saying it's negative or positive. I'm just saying one day I drove past Bjorn's dad, let's say, who the fuck knows who that is, who cares? Right. I saw him one day and he just didn't he didn't like acknowledge me. He saw me but he didn't say hi.
Was this after you came out?
It's after I stopped going to church.
Oh.
No, I wasn't even out as gay yet.
No,
Jessica Glassmaker's friend knew I was gay though.
I seen it. I seen him one time at his place of business. Right? Okay. And
where was that? What's the? Well, don't say it, I guess. Just say after. It doesn't matter. Say after off the record, right?
Yeah. And he was like, "Oh, how are you doing? Whatever." And I was.
Oh, he can't remember. With you.
Yeah, he spoke to me
after you stopped going to church.
Yeah, this was after I stopped going to church. That's interesting. And I can't remember what I said to him, but he's like, "Oh yeah, no rest for the wicked." That's what he said to me.
Oh my god, that's the name of an Ozzy Osbourne album. That's cool.
And I was just like, yeah.
Weird. But that was his ego making himself feel better about his existence. Yeah. That's all that was. That's all it was. Which is what humans do, and it's understandable. I mean, why wouldn't he do that? You know what I mean? Like, he didn't even acknowledge me. I'm surprised it was probably because of the proximity of you was so uncomfortably close, maybe? Do you think that's what it could have been?
But you know what?
You were just closely walking by him?
Even after I stopped going to church, right? I still was helping every once in a while with certain young women stuff. And then when I opened the restaurant,
interesting.
I still... I would donate food to the church for different like relief society stuff.
Just because you wanted to stay connected in some way, you think? You
I was still connected to the people, and I really love like a community service
in a bipartisan of believing in it way.
Yeah.
Right.
In a bipartisan, like I don't even care about the religion.
That's what I actually think a lot of people in religion do, is they follow along with the religion in a community sense, but they kind of, on some plain level, know that it's BS. Like all the unhappy wives that you remember going to church. Right, Brady? What is that?
Aunt Lori just commented. She's like, connected, and I am not a motherfucker.
Because I said about the Christians. Is she Christian? Is that what she meant?
I don't know.
The multiple universes or dimensions connected or not? Are they connected or not, motherfucker? I just said that. Are these two things right here? Are these two
She
things
said
right
connected. Here? Like, she's like, connected. They're connected.
And I'm not a motherfucker.
I am not a motherfucker.
Yeah.
I love Lori.
Right, Lori Dugstead would say that, not Lori Durst.
Yeah, that's our Aunt Lori Dugstead. Yeah,
I know, but we have a Lori Durst as well.
I know, but she doesn't really.
She doesn't. She defriended me a long time ago.
Oh, she's still. I don't know.
She defriended me a long time ago. Yeah.
Oh.
That's pretty funny. But do you know what? Whitney has defriended me before and then friended me again. And then, Brady, that's what I was talking about, teasing Whitney. That's where me teasing Whitney with different things I text her about questioning the universe. That started because of she must have defriended me at some point and then felt bad and then refriended me. Whitney refriended me. And then I was teasing her about, Whitney, why'd you defriend me and friend me again? Blah, blah, blah. That's what started my teasing. Because I would have never had interest in teasing Whitney for being Mormon. That's pointless, right?
Right.
What started it was that she my ego used the excuse of her defriending me and friending me again to start the religious, uncomfortable conversation with her over text. Yeah. That's funny, though. It's so funny. Because it's been so interesting talking to her in a real way. Because we never did that before.
Yeah.
It was always in this other context of Marshmallow in Unicorn Land.
Yeah, we were kids.
Now we've entered reality.
Not necessarily
Because
you've always been in reality.
That's true.
You're adults now.
I'm using an analogy, kind of.
Well, use the right wording.
Well, the cutting of the...
I know your...
infinity strip.
I know your vocabulary is limited in your human existence. But
all human existence is limited.
Use it in the right way.
Okay, but hate isn't the answer. But anyway, so
Oh, now I'm hating just because I'm
because my little ego feels bruised.
Oh, jeez.
Brady, it's just the context of humans.
Well, if your ego wasn't so soft, you little bitch.
This is good fucking dialogue. I love it. That is genius dialogue. It's like a existential comedy dialogue. Like, oh my God, one of my favorite movies is I Heart Huckabees. It's an existential comedy. It's so amazing. It's amazing.
I Heart Huckabees?
Yeah, it has Dustin Hoffman and Lily Tomlin, and it's an existential comedy. It's fucking amazing.
I love Lily Tomlin.
Yeah, and the director was yelling at her on set. She's my
favorite.
And that's one of the first things that ever went viral online in like 2007 was the director yelling at her on set. And she's like, I'm not so as creative as you. Your mind can go everywhere. I'm more structured. And then he's just yelling at her. But it's so stupid because it's like, she's the fucking star that's making your movie legitimate. Like, what the fuck? Who the fuck are you? And that's why he didn't work for 6 years till The Fighter. You know the movie The Fighter? David O. Russell. Then he made Silver Linings Playbook, American Hustle, Joy with Jennifer Lawrence.
Hang on, sorry.
The same director who made I Heart Huckabees. He made The Fighter. The Fighter,
okay,
Silver Linings.
Directors. I'm like,
Brady, you remember I'm obsessed with directors.
I know you're obsessed with directors. You're not obsessed. You're so funny because you're always obsessed with the non-popular thing. Not necessarily non-popular.
That's what I love about it.
Like
that's probably what I'm loving about
it.
Nonconformist ideas.
Yeah, like you know how people are usually obsessed with the stars.
Movie stars, exactly.
Or a movie.
But for me, they're not the creative writer unless they wrote it. Fine.
And neither is the director because the director's not always the writer.
Exactly. For me, I'm fascinated with who made it, wrote and directed it.
No. You're not fascinated with writers, though.
I am.
So
within my context,
you can chronologically name writers, like what they wrote in chronological order in the year. Can you do that? Because you can do that with directors.
Bit. Not as much as director. A little bit.
You are in love and obsessed with directors because they control how the story is seen.
Yes, but I do particularly
you are obsessed with control.
But I do particularly love writers who direct and directors who write because
they have more control.
Well, they have the.
It's about control with you.
It's
about control.
That's
with you.
true. That's true, and it's about the universal voice of that work of art is very interesting when it's a singular vision and it hasn't been corrupted by the money men of Hollywood, for example. Like sometimes an independent movie people will put up the money for an independent movie and then the money men will want to get in there with the creative people and start ruining the movie.
Right.
When they shouldn't do that if they want it to really be successful. But they don't know not to vote with Amazon with their dollar.
Oh my God.
They're not in that.
So.
But anyway. But I'm saying, I don't know. I think it'll be more interesting to evolve as people with mom and pop stores.
Yeah, but even like
mom and pop stores. Like that's what it fucking
I'm trying to say, like, even you, in your evolution, you're still obsessed with control. Your ego.
Would you say
as a man?
Would you say every human is in a way, on a different level spectrum?
Yeah,
of course. But so
everything's
what's your point then?
a spectrum.
But what's your point? I mean, we're coming back to that credit argument of the credit and the ego. Oh, I said it first. Well, I helped you say it. It doesn't fucking matter. We're all one universe, right? Like,
right. But I'm just
in the context. But the context of our human beings still thinks it matters.
Yeah, but we're talking about where we are evolved now, and I'm just saying, like,
right, in the context of where we are right now. That's what I just said. Even though,
you know, maybe we're on a different level consciously.
Right, we're still in our human context.
In your compartment, in your little hole in the beehive.
Right.
You know, you're still obsessed with control. You're still
right, but every human is in their
obsessed
beehive.
with being the man.
Right, humans.
Even though you're a
exactly.
little, can I say faggot?
Yes, I'm a little faggot, Brady.
Even though you're a little faggot.
Oh my god! But Brady, you don't want to discredit your own intelligence.
I know. I just love saying that word. Why is that bad?
No, it's about.
Why is that word so funny? Well, the word faggot is funny.
It's about censorship, right? It's about control again, right?
I know.
People want to control the language. They want to censor certain words.
And I didn't want to say that word because I don't want to offend
certain
anybody.
Words have been censored, right? It gives them power.
Yeah.
Which is what satisfies your insatiable desire to say the word.
You think that's why I think it's so funny?
Censored. That's why, Brady, remember the idea of when drugs are legalized in a country, it is shown proof that a big part of those people who did the drug stopped doing it simply because it wasn't about doing the drug. It was about my ego.
Getting something they can't have.
My ego is being satisfied.
Because I get something I'm not supposed to have.
Swearing, drugs, forbidden anything.
Okay.
We're drawn to the forbidden, right? Adam and Eve with the forbidden fruit. Yes. The straight white cis male is...
What's cis?
Cis means non-trans.
Oh my God. I'm like, what are you saying cis for?
It's C-I-S.
I've never heard of that before.
Brady, yes you have.
The straight white cis male?
Cis just means non-trans. I think in terms of the information I have, it just means non-trans.
I've never heard you say that word before, ever.
But for me, it's kind of redundant when you say... Well, no, you could say male, but a male could come from a trans, right?
And a cis sounds like sister to me.
Right, I don't know where the word came from in terms of maybe Latin or something. I don't know. But right, I made a joke about that. I did this routine once where I would get up and I just would use the excuse... use the previous comedian, whoever that happened to be, I would just start being homophobic towards them, whether they were gay or straight, whatever, didn't matter. I would just attack them homophobically. So one comedian before me once happened to use the word cis. So I'm like, what the fuck sissy shit were you talking about before, you fucking gay piece of shit? And I'm like, there's no room in here for you to be gay. Do you know why? Because there's only room in here for one faggot here. And then I'd point at myself. So then the joke being I triggered everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Because and then I defused the trigger by being gay myself. By admitting that I'm gay.
Yeah.
And so that's like, whether you want to call that comedy or performance art, I don't know. But it was fucking fun. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it was so fun, like, triggering everybody. Because that's kind of where we're at right now. We're at this, like, really sensitized, triggering, cancel culture point in the collective consciousness.
Do you think it's fun because you have control over...
Yes, it's all about human ego. Remember when I got high and watched Beyond Valley of the Dolls? I realized the universe, or our existence that we exist within humans... that context that we exist as humans is all about ego. Everything's driven by ego.
Is it limited by our ego?
That's what too, double-edged sword, or whatever cliche saying you want to say it. Bring the bucket up the hill, Jack and Jill. You know what I mean? Like, dude, I mean, like, what I'm saying is everything we've ever decided to do, even exist and fucking populate the world as all the potential, population growth as humans, that we fuck like bunnies and populate, that's part of our ego and why we exist is, sexuality. And that's why sexuality is such a crazy thing that we deal with as humans, because it's the basis of our existence. And, it's like flowers talking about pollen all the time. Do you know what I mean? Like if flowers could talk, it wouldn't be Alice in Wonderland, motherfucker. They would
talking
be
about pollen and pestles.
They would be jacking off to pollen. Or no, pollen is their ejaculation?
No,
I don't know, but
the egg.
The egg and the cum, or whatever.
Pollen is
for me, pollen is the cum, and
pollen is like the sperm, I guess.
And the flower is the vagina, or whatever, the middle of the flower, whatever that is.
It's a pistil and a I forgot what the female part is called.
Yeah, it's reproduction. And the ego of that reproduction is why we exist. That's just the context of its living evolution. And our sources, right, the source of our sources, right, is like our spirit energy that goes somewhere when we die. Mm-hmm. Whether it goes somewhere or not, it doesn't matter. It's the source of source is explaining why our hearts are beating right now, right? That's the only thing. We have to use limitations of the English language past the, monotheistic, or what's it called? Monotheistic culture in the world context we live in right now. We have to use the limitations of our language to explain to ourselves what the universe is about. So we say things like the source of source, right? That's what's beating our heart right now. Whatever.
Our energy.
Our energy. And so, but it doesn't matter if what it is or not. The point is
that's
we're existing
what I was
in a
talking about
universe.
In the last podcast.
Oh, okay. What?
What is the source of our source?
Right, but that's what I'm saying. That's part of the circle existence of the universe, right? It comes back to those generations coming after us are going to be asking, after the question they're answering now, what's the meaning of life? They're going to ask, is the universe many things or one thing? Doesn't matter. If they're communicating, it's one thing. If it's one thing, then we end the Monopoly game once we are done with our human existence. What is then doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's about the existence of the universe as a whole, whether or not whatever you exist as. So it's existing in this circle. Doesn't matter what the circle means. We're somewhere along the circle, floating somewhere along the circle. That's what I meant by you don't need quantum physics to explain, because quantum physics, when you do really understand it, it's almost like a religion for scientists. Once the few people who've understood quantum physics understand it, maybe that's what they're trying to explain. Because you know how we're explaining our analogies as the universe in terms of geometry, circles, the infinity ribbon that we cut in school that never ended, how it's compartmentalized but one thing at the same time. That's why I said it was an analogy for the universe, right? It's a compartmentalized thing that is one thing. That's why it's the next question after, what's the meaning of life? Is it one universe or multiple? Is it one ribbon thing or multiple infinity ribbons? Doesn't matter. They're all connected. Okay, that brings us back to the answer to that question. It's one universe. If it's one universe, we hit the wall in terms of our understanding of existence, and we just are saying that our answer for the existence right now is we are existing in a circle of communication, evolution, or existence of a circle of existence. Whether it's evolving or not doesn't matter. Right? Like the whole Scopes monkey trials thing. That's what they were basically, that's why it was such a popular trial at the time in the 1920s, because it was asking that ultimate question, did we come from Adam and Eve or apes? Which basically is a bigger question of, are we intelligently designed, or did we evolve from primordial ooze accidentally? Is it chaos or order? But that's the big question. What's the meaning of life? Is it chaos or order? Doesn't matter. We are chaotically ordered. It's a combination of both. We're chaotically ordered in some existence. It doesn't matter what the fucking existence is. Go play with your egos at the Scopes Monkey Trials. We don't care. The point is we are in a circle of existence constantly. It's not a straight line, a linear line that goes on forever. Because where's that line going to go on forever? It has to circle back into one continuous thing. Because, right, once we're at the end of our game of human evolution, what does it matter that we've evolved to aliens communicating telepathically? You know, the kids in Burkittsville, 1969, they didn't hear anything the aliens said, but I do not deny that they had that experience. There's no point. They say what
the aliens look like?
There's no point in like the classic image of the skinny green man. I mean, I don't know. They actually didn't say that, but that's what I'm assuming.
Do you think they looked tall and skinny because they were all fucked up and
if you think about this, is one of the
anesthetized sort of drug maybe, and so they look
right. Anesthesiologist.
And so when you're kind of fucked up, even when you're drunk or whatever, you look at something and it's like blurred and like, misshapen.
Yeah.
Right? So maybe what we think aliens look like is just a blurred, misshapen image of what they actually are, because when people are abducted,
manifested it into what our
when
vision
people
is.
are abducted, they're
fucked up.
Yeah, they're put. Yeah, so you don't.
But I'm not going to deny that they had those experiences. Why would they make?
Oh yeah, I'm not going to deny that. No,
I know you're not. But I'm saying I'm not either.
But maybe they look more like us.
Right, that's true.
But then there are remember the green back in the 70s or
Little green men.
The two little green kids that came, they were supposed to have come from the center of the earth.
I've never heard
about
this.
that. It was in the 70s. Yeah.
What is this story?
I've never green beans.
I've never heard this. Tell me, what's the story? What do you know?
I can't remember. It was somewhere up in Finland or somewhere up, up towards the North Pole, right? Or one of those countries up, or Iceland. I think it was Iceland.
Right. That would make sense because Bjork is an amazing alien from Iceland. After the rock lineage of David Bowie being an alien.
But yeah, these two, it was a boy and a girl. They wandered.
That's so crazy.
They just wandered in this town.
Eating beans.
No, they were
what'd you say?
They had a green tint to their skin.
Oh my God, that's
amazing.
And
the only thing they wanted to eat were peas. Green
And that makes sense because those are really healthy.
I mean, they were back then. Now, here in the United States, they're mostly GMO, but...
But they didn't exist with parents or anything? Did somebody adopt them? How did they survive?
And then I can't remember if one day they disappeared.
Right, they could have just...
Or they died. I can't remember.
Somebody
But I seen it on the Gaia or whatever that I was telling you about.
Oh, what
you
is
gotta
the next...
watch that on YouTube.
It's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube.
Okay.
GAIA.
Can you send me the link? Can you? Because, that's what I'm talking about. That's the minority of people... Right, past the generation of religion asking bigger questions, but we're still in a minority, right? The three major religions of the world is still, right, the majority of people, right? Would you say? Did you find it?
Pistil and stamen. The female part of the flower is the pistil.
Okay, but Brady.
And the male part is the stamen.
Brady, text me the YouTube video, please.
I know.
Then send me the link. Okay, no, Brady, this is one of the things Joe Rogan talks about on his podcast, where if you think about it, if we evolved from monkeys, right, or apes, right, that had hair, or we clearly evolved from something that had hair, right, Brady?
Yeah, we clearly evolved from something that had hair.
And you know how we have less hair over time, right?
Right.
That's one of the... So if we continue with that evolution...
Yeah, the green children of Woolpit.
Brady, if we continue with that evolution, what are we going to turn into? Hairless muscle-less things that don't need to do anything because we've automated everything, right? That's another point in our body's evolution.
Right.
We've automated everything, so we don't need muscles. So what are we going to evolve into? Blurry visioned little green skinny men who are hairless, who abduct people from Earth randomly one day to experiment on them. I don't know why. But not that they experimented on them. They didn't